Radhe Radhe all, please welcome back to the lecture, wonderful lecture series by Swami Maheshwaranand Bhaiya. He's from Trinidad and he has been preaching all over Trinidad, Guyana, USA, Canada and other places. So please listen attentively. The lecture series is on Ram Katha. It will go all the way till Sunday evening. And please spread the word to your friends and family members, whoever you know, so that people can benefit from this. Please make sure your cell phones are turned off. Please maintain silence all the way throughout the lecture. And at the end of the lecture, there will be dinner prasad in the dining hall. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Prathamam Sadguru Vande Shri Krishnam Tadanantaram Guru Papatmana Prata Shri Krishnas Twamalatmana Barahapidam Natavarvapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibhradvasaha Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamala Randhran Venu Radhar Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishadgita Kirti Namah Kamalana Bhaya Namah Kamal Maline Namah Kamal Pada Namaste Kamalekshan Yo Brahmanam Virdhati Purvam Yo Vedanshap Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Hadevam Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Mahanubhav Bhakti Samudaya, the divine souls, devotees of the Supreme Lord. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and every one, and my pranam, my humblest prostration to each and every one of you here. As usual, we begin with Bhajan, Kirtan. In the books you have, turn to page 191. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Radhe
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 Tum bina नहीं भूलो मोही पल छीन आधे।
तुम भी नहीं भूलो मोही पल छीन आधे।
मैं भी न भूलूं तो ही राधे 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 राधे।
मैं भी न भूलूं तो ही राधे 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 राधे।
तुम बिनु जियो नहीं एक छीन राधे।
तुम बिन जियो नहीं एक छिन राधे।
ऐसी बना दे मोही राधे 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 राधे।
ऐसी बना दे मोही राधे 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 राधे।
ओ राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
पतित जनन हित तो हित जी राधे।
पतित जनन हित रोहित जी राधे।
और हो तो बता दे राधे राधे राधे।
और ठोर हो तो बता दे राधे राधे राधे।
मुझसे पतित यदि होते नहीं राधे।
मुझसे पतित यदि होते नहीं राधे।
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 मुझसे पतित यदि होते नहीं राधे।
मुझसे पतित यदि होते नहीं राधे।
तेरे द्वार आता कौन राधे 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 राधे।
तेरे द्वार आता कौन राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
तुमको पतित पावनी लखी राधे।
तुमको पतित पावनी लखी राधे।
ये मन माने पाप राधे 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 राधे।
ये मन माने पाप राधे 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 राधे।
हरि को उठाया गिरि को उठाया राधे।
हरि को उठाया गिरि को उठाया राधे।
इनसे भी क्या मैं भारी राधे 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 राधे।
इनसे भी क्या हमारी राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
तेरे सुत द्वार द्वार मांगे भीख राधे।
तेरे सुत द्वार द्वार मांगे भीख राधे।
मांगे भीख राधे।
मांगे भीख राधे।
ओ मांगे भीख राधे।
मांगे भीख राधे।
तेरे सुत द्वार द्वार मांगे भीख राधे।
तेरे सुत द्वार द्वार मांगे भीख राधे।
तेरी भी लाज जाए राधे 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 राधे।
तेरी भी लाज जाए राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे।
जग शिशु माता के भरोसे रहे राधे।
जग शिशु माता के भरोसे रहे राधे।
ओ हम है भरोसे तेरे राधे 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 राधे।
हम है भरोसे तेरे राधे 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 राधे।
ओ राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
गुरु ने जनाया जाना तू ही मेरी राधे।
गुरु ने जनाया जाना तू ही मेरी राधे।
तू ही मेरी राधे।
तू ही मेरी राधे।
ओ तू ही मेरी राधे।
तू ही मेरी राधे।
गुरु ने जनाया जाना तू ही मेरी राधे।
गुरु ने जनाया जाना तू ही मेरी राधे।
ओ माना नहीं तू ही मनवा दे राधे राधे राधे।
माना नहीं तू ही मनवा दे राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे।
अगणित आधमन अपनाया राधे।
अगणित आधमन अपनाया राधे।
ओ अपनाया राधे।
अपनाया राधे।
ओ अपनाया राधे।
अपनाया राधे।
अगणित आधमन अपनाया राधे।
अगणित आधमन अपनाया राधे।
ओ अपना कृपालु को भी राधे 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 राधे।
अपना कृपालु को भी राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
ओ
राधे।
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे।
राधा रानी की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। आप सावधान होके आज का प्रवचन सुन लीजिए. Now try to be very attentive and to listen very carefully. We have been discussing Ram Gita. 11,000 वर्ष में एक बार भगवान श्री राम ने अयोध्या में सबको बुलाया। एक बार रघुनाथ बुलाए, गुरु द्विज पुरवासी सब आए। और प्रवचन दिया। In 11,000 years, in the age of Treta Yuga, Bhagwan Shri Ram stayed in this world physically. Once only he called everyone in Ayodhya and gave a lecture. Pravachan. We are looking at that. We've seen many things during this. Tonight is the 4th session. We saw the greatness of human birth, that this human body is so valuable. Even devatas, celestial gods, Agni, Indra, Kuber, Vayu, these celestial gods are praying and begging for birth in the human form. We saw not only is it very difficult to attain, after billions and billions of years we get a chance to get birth in the human form. And that too only through the causeless mercy of Bhagavan. We then saw that even though this body is very valuable, yet this body belongs to us, this human body. And whatever belongs to us cannot be us. So who are we? We found out from the Vedas, Ramayana, Gita, Bhagavad, and the scriptures that we are the soul, Atma, Jeev, Jivatma. And since we are the Atma soul, and the soul is an eternal fraction, part of Bhagwan. Mamevansho jivaloke jiva bhutah sanatana Ishwara ansha jiva avinashi. The individual soul is an eternal part, a fraction of Bhagwan. And it's a natural law that every part has a natural love for the whole and tries to become one with it. So being eternal fractions of Sri Krishna, it means we love and want only Sri Krishna. And we saw that another name for Sri Krishna in the Vedas is Anand, bliss, happiness, Sukh. And this is why we all want only happiness. Sukh chahte hain. We cannot want dukh, sorrow, suffering, even if we were to try to do so for uncountable lifetimes. It's not our nature. Problem is, we've been looking for this happiness in the wrong place. Bhagwan ko peet kiya na? Last night, we saw that the individual soul have turned, we the individual souls, because of ignorance, identifying with this human body, the physical body, we have turned our backs away from God and looking for happiness in the material world. And where it cannot be found. So first thing we have to realize is that we are the soul, Atma. And the happiness we are looking for, we'll find only in Sri Krishna. By looking for happiness in the world, the Ved Mantra told us that bird, remember the bird, there are two birds. One bird is Jivatma, is eating the bitter fruits of the tree and suffering. Dukh hai. Bhagwan Shri Ram says in the Ramayana, Narakanupai Vishayaman Dehi Palati Sudhate षठ विषले जय राम श्री तनु पाई विषय मन देही पलटी सुधा ते षठ विषलेही. Bhagwan Shri Ram is saying to residents of Ayodhya, to us also, that having gotten this wonderful human birth, Naratanu, if we only run after the senses and sensual pleasures, Vishaya Manadehi, trying to give happiness, looking for happiness, but in sensual objects, in sensual gratification. So he says, Palati Sudha Te Shat. Shat means stupid, foolish. That foolish is like a foolish person who has been given Amrit Sudha, life-given ambrosia, and throws it away, pegged it there, and drinks wish poison. Wish. What does he mean by drinking poison? Last night we finished a katha where Prahlad was told by Bhagavan to ask for a boon, Varam Bruhi. And Prahlad, being a servant, a das, a servant means one who follows the instructions of the master. Bhagavan made it very clear. Mama soi sevak mama priyatam soi mama anushasan manai joi. One can only be called a sevak, a servant, my devotee, and is extremely dear to me. Extremely dear. If he accepts, follows my instructions. Mama Anushasan. So, Bhagwan is telling Prahlad to ask for a boon. Prahlad gave a long lecture. Then he said, okay. Bhagwan insists that, look, every time I meet anyone, I tell them to ask for something, and I'm telling you, so you should ask also. And so Prahlad said, Yadiramisha me kaman varan swam vaddarshabha kamanam hridya sandoham bhavatastu vrinevaram. 7 Canto, 10th chapter, 7th verse, Bhagavad Mahapuran. Prahlad said, my Lord, if you insist on giving me a boon, then give me the boon that my desire to ever ask you for anything will be destroyed forever. Let me have no desire. Bhagwan said to Prahlad, first Bhagwan chup ho gaya, he became silent. Then he says, Beta, Prahlad, why is desire so dangerous? What does desire do? Prahlad said, you don't know? I know. But your answer is going to help worldly souls. So Prahlad said, Indriyani manhaprana atma dharmo dhitir mati hi shri tejasmiti satyam yas jasnati janmana yas nasyanti janmana. 7 Canto, 10th chapter, 8th verse, Bhagavad Mahapuran. Prahlad said, Maharaj, the birth of a single desire, ek kamna, causes harm to so many things. The energy of the senses, indriya. The energy of the mind, man. The energy of the life force, pran. And the energy of the soul, atma. These are the four main pillars. Other things get harmed too. Patience, righteousness, reasoning, modesty, self-esteem, and even knowledge of the scriptures. Knowledge of the scripture? I have read Gita, Ramayana, Bhagavad. No. That's theoretical knowledge. Practical knowledge gets destroyed. Desire makes a person a bega, bhikari banate. And desires are only 5 types. 5 प्रकार का कामनाएं है, 5 कुल टोटल. शब्द, स्पर्श, रूप, रस, गंध. Shabd, desire to hear, to listen to Ram Katha. No, Gram Katha. एक होता है राम कथा, एक होता है ग्राम कथा. One is Ram Katha, listening as you are right now, divine philosophy. And one is Gram Katha, listening to worldly things. Sensual things. Ah, that is very sweet. Shabd, sparsh, desire to touch, to feel. Murti Bhagwan, the charan, lotus feet of Guru Bhagwan. No, worldly things. Roop, desire to see. See what? Mommy, daddy, boyfriend, girlfriend, things in the world. Worldly things. Not Bhagwan, not Guru, sometimes, not all the time. Ras, desire to taste. Prasad? No. Chalo McDonald. Let's go to McDonald. Let's go here, let's go there. Oh, this prasad is not tasty. This Yugal Kunj, they cook food so bland. Can't eat this kind of thing sometime. Gandh, desire to smell. The divine flower offered to lotus feet of Bhagwan, etc. No. We have different things we like to smell. So we have only 5 sense organs, 5 indriya hai, and desires of these 5 sense organs. We cannot have a 6th desire. And these desires are very powerful. A person of uncontrolled senses cannot control carnal desires and so falls into the greatest darkness. Kuranga matanga patanga bhringa meenahata panchabhireva pancha eka pramadi sakatham nahanyate yasevate panchabhireva pancha. Sukti, Garu Puran. A moth, desire for light causes it to fall in the flame and die. Hiran, deer. Hunter plays sound, the deer gets attracted, and it is killed. Desire for sound. The bee's desire for sweet smell causes his death. It goes in the lotus flower, the flower closes and the bee dies. The fish's desire for taste gets caught on the hook, and the elephant meets its death owing to the desire for the she-elephant. These poor innocent creatures meet their death, their end, attempting to satisfy the desire related to one sense organ. Ek indriya. What then shall be the deplorable state of us human beings who are ravaged and tormented by all the sensual desires? Bhagwan Krishna gives a wonderful example. He says to Uddhav, in Bhagavad Mahapuran, Udho Gita. Jivai kato mapakar shatikar hitarsha shishnu nyatastva gudaram shravanam kutaschit grano nyatastva paladrik kvacha karma shaktir bahavya sapatna ivageha patim lunanti. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 9th chapter, 27 verse. Bhagavan Shri Krishna saying to Uddhav, he compares the 5 senses, our 5 senses, to 5 wives, patni, to 5 wives of a man. 5 patni. अरे एक पत्नी तो काफी है. 1 patni and 5. Let's suppose a man has 5 wives. So just as each wife will try her level best to attract and possess her husband to herself, in the same way Bhagwan says, each desire tries to capture the heart, hriday, the heart to itself, thereby leading to that person's complete ruin and degradation. Sarvanash karte. This is why this kamana, desire, has been told to be the greatest poison, disease, a poison of our mind, the inner world of our mind. You may say, I don't really accept this, Swamiji. Anger is more dangerous than desire. If a person gets angry, oh, what can he not do? Break a television, he comes home, doesn't get what he wants to eat. Break a television, break something, break the wife's head even. On the other hand, you get a desire, you are restless for a little while, and take her, you're okay. And then greed, lobh, is also very dangerous. Let's hear what the scripture says. Prajahat yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmanah tushtah sthita pragasta dochyate. Chapter 2, verse 55, Gita. Bhagwan Krishna says, give up all desires and you will attain true peace, true happiness. Vihaya kama yah sarvan puman charati nispriya nirmamo nirahankara sashanti madhigacchati. Chapter 2, verse 71, Gita. If someone gives up all desires, he will attain true peace, shanti, true happiness. Yavat bhriyeta jatharam tavat sattvam hi dehinam adhikam yobhi manyet sastena dandamarhati. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 7th Canto, 14th chapter, 8th verse. Again, desire has been stressed. One who hoards and takes more than necessary for himself and his family is a thief. Chor hai, thief, sustainer. Our dandamarhati is going to get double punishment after dying. Bhajiya Ram sab kama bihai. Ramayana. Give up all desires, worship Bhagwan. So desire has been stressed everywhere. Gita, Rama and Bhagavad. Are, Prahlad goes to the extent of saying to Nrsimha Bhagwan, Vimunchati yadaka ma manavo manasisthitan tahiyeva pundarikaksha bhagavatvaya kalpate. 7th Canto, 10th chapter, 9th verse. Little Prahlad, he says to Nrsimha Bhagwan, forget about becoming a saint, Mahapurush. If a person gives up all desires, he becomes Bhagavan. Bhagavat-vaya kalpate. But why has desire termed to be the most dangerous disease, the root cause of all ills and evil? What about krodh and lobh, anger and greed? In the Ramayana too. Tulsidas Ji, Kakwa Sundarji says to Garuji, he stresses these 3 in the Ramayana also. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. कफ लोभ अपारा, क्रोध पित्त नित छाती जारा। बोलो
राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
ओ प्रीति करहि जो तीनहु भाई, उपजई संग पात दुखदाई। बोलो
राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
काम बात कफ लोभ अपारा, क्रोध पित्त नित छाती जारा। प्रीति करही, प्रीति लव, प्रीति करही जाओ तीन हु भाई। तुलसीदास जी महाराज, he's calling these three brothers, काम क्रोध लोभ। और प्रीति करही, one who loves these three, sustains, maintains these three, upajai dukh sanyapat dukkhdai, gets hysteria, crazy, and suffers. So all three have been stressed upon. Why are you saying only desire? So Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Kamat krodho bhijayate. Chapter 2, verse 62, Gita. He says, the mother of both greed as well as anger is kamana, desire. Desire. You see, a desire, when you get a desire, जो कामना आते हैं मन में, so this desire, either we can fulfill it or it can remain unfulfilled. इनकी पूर्ति कर सकते या आपूर्ति. And when we fulfill a desire, what happens? न जातु कामः कामान उपभोगेन शाम्यति, हविष्या कृष्ण वर्त्मेव भूय एवा विवर्धते. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 9th canto, 19th chapter, 14th verse. Bhagavad, Manusmriti also mentions that trying to satisfy a desire is like pouring ghee, clarified butter, into fire. You do havan, right? You pour ghee in the fire. Indraya Namah Swaha, Agnaye Namah Swaha, Vayave Namah Swaha. When you pour that ghee into the fire, what happens? Temporarily, the fire goes down. Temporarily. And then what happens? It gets bigger. In the same way, when we satisfy a desire, temporarily, I want to eat ice cream, I eat 5 ice cream. I don't want any more ice cream. And then, after a while, tomorrow, I want more ice cream. The desire for it increases. It gives rise to greed, lobh, greed, which is ever increasing and insatiable. The more you satisfy a desire, the more you will want it. The more you get, the more you want. And what happens when we cannot satisfy the desire? Apurti. We get angry when we don't get what we want. Krodhate. We get angry. And what happens when anger comes in the mind? Krodhar bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama, smriti vanshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Geeta, chapter 2, verse 63. Do tirsat. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. When we lose memory, we lose the power to discriminate, and everything is destroyed. So if whether desire is fulfilled, only two things you can do when you get a desire. Either you fulfill it or it remains unfulfilled. So whether we fulfill the desire or it remains unfulfilled, both are dangerous. One leads to greed, love. One leads to anger, growth. So can we get rid of desire? If we have no desire, then we won't have any anger, we won't have any greed, or any other mental disease. So if this desire has a root cause, jar, and we can destroy it. Let's suppose near to Yugal Kunj, this ashram, the mandir, there's a tree. Big tree, big. And eventually that root of the tree is going to affect the foundation. So you want to destroy the tree. What do? Clip the branches? Huh? No, you go to the root of the tree. Poison the root or take it out. Destroy from the root. So in the same way, if we can find the root cause of all desires, kamanae, and we can destroy that, then we don't have to worry about desire, anger, greed, or any other mental disease. Desire has only one cause. Ek karan hai. What is that? Asakti. Asakti, attachment. One reason, one cause. Look, we have been sitting here for a while. Some people came early. Some people are thinking, oh, how long is this fella going to keep speaking? Some people do. They get up and take a little walk and come back, go to the washroom. Some people think, okay, if I get a cup of chai, a cup of coffee, or some people even if I take a cigarette, I'll be fresh again. Then this fella can talk for 2 hours, no problem. Because of these people's attachment to these objects, the desire for it is born again and again. It keeps pinching. Chupte man ko. It keeps pinching. Hey, drink me, smoke me. And the more we use it, the more we want it. Somebody who's never drank coffee doesn't think I need to get a cup of coffee to start my morning. Somebody who never drinks chai, tea, doesn't think I need to have chai right now. A person who never drinks sharab, rum, if someone, a sharabi, a drunkard comes close to him, oh, very bad smell. For a sharabi, there's nothing better smell than that. So the more we use it, the more we want it. So, where there's attachment to any person or object, only upon the attainment of that person or object is pleasure derived. We get pleasure. And this attachment is the source of all desires. This asakti. Dhyayato vishayan punsa sangaste shupajayate sanga sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate. Chapter 2, verse 62, Geeta. So first attachment, then comes desire. And if we fulfill a desire, greed. If desire is not fulfilled, anger. Now, does attachment have a root cause? Why do we get attached? And everybody's attachment is different. We're not all attached to the same person or object. If we can find this and finish it, it'll also be good. So in the first line of that shloka I just told you from Geeta, Bhagwan Krishna says, Dhyayatu Vishayan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate. When we think again and again about any person or object, listen carefully. When we think again and again that I will find happiness in this person or object, इस वस्तु में, इस व्यक्ति में सुख मिलेगा, सुख पाएगा, we get attached. This is an example you must have heard before. No one becomes a chain smoker overnight. How does someone become a chain smoker? When that person is young, they see other people smoking, maybe parents, peers, and they think, oh, must be good. Maybe I will get some happiness from that. Why is everybody, my father, my mommy is smoking? So, they decide to hide and take a smoke also. On smoking the first cigarette, you cough and almost choke on it. You पहली बार पीते हैं. But you keep smoking because you think it will bring you happiness. And then you become a chain smoker. Same thing with a sharabi, an alcoholic. No one becomes sharabi, alcoholic overnight. When you're young, you see other people drinking, parents, relatives, friends. You decide, maybe I should try this thing. Everybody is drinking. Father says, I can drink. If you drink, I'm going to break your foot. Acha. The same thing you tell somebody, don't do, that's what they're going to do. So, you hide and take a little drink, sharab, and the head spin a little bit. Now, your friends, you decide to go every Friday clubbing. And long ago, boys alone used to go clubbing. Now girls go more clubbing than boys. So every Friday, then every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, then every day. Now you are sharabi ban gaye. You have become alcoholic. So is this thinking again and again, this constant reflection that I can find happiness in this person or object, which makes us attached to that person or object. Nobody falls in love overnight. Or we say, I just saw and I fell in love. Right? You fall in love? Nobody falls in love. This boy see this girl see this boy, and they think, this is the person who's going to make me happy. So nowadays, the thing is soulmate. I have found my soulmate. And you think about a person and a day and night, and now you can't eat, you can't sleep. You decide, you try everything and I will die for you, etc., etc. You get married to that person. Now you're looking for the happiness. And that same soulmate, it may come to the day that one day that person is going to say, the husband may say, the day I married you, I ruined my whole life. The wife may say the same thing. Maybe not outwardly, but she thinks, what do you think? I am happy. That same person who said, I will die for you, now starts thinking or may say, I will kill you. Where is soulmate? Now it became deathmate. So is this constant reflection, this thinking again and again, that this person or object will give me happiness. Now, why do we constantly reflect or think that some person or object will give us happiness? Because, as I told you, being a fraction of Sri Krishna, who is eternal happiness, supreme happiness, is our nature to want only happiness. Nature hai swabhav. And unless we find true lasting happiness, we'll have to continue performing action. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit. Chapter 3, verse 5, Gita. We can't remain inactive even for a moment. We will continue looking for happiness everywhere and in everything. But if we continue looking in the world as we have been doing from beginningless time, all we're going to find is dukh, suffering. People say, I have found happiness in the world. What are you talking about? I found happiness. A girl says, the day I got married was the happiest day of my life. I was so happy. I cried and I cried and I cried. Achha. And what happened after the marriage? Where did the happiness go? A person says, the day I got my job was the happiest day of my life. I dreamt and I planned about this day. And today all my dreams have come true. But is this true happiness? No. Every happiness we have attained in this material world from beginningless time till now is not true happiness. Even then, very simple people, jo bhole hote, will say, I have found happiness. I have found happiness. Not the big, great happiness of Bhagwan, small, but I have found happiness. It obviously means that we don't understand the meaning of the word sukh or happiness. The Vedas tell us, defines what happiness is. Yovai bhuma tat sukham, bhumaiva sukham, Chandogya Upanishad. The Vedas say, that which is infinite, immeasurable, beginningless, eternal, is called sukh or happiness. Once attained, it is possessed forever. You will never become separate from it ever again. You will never experience sorrow ever again. Have we attained such a thing? Today something makes us happy. 10 minutes afterwards we experience sorrow from the same thing. Or tomorrow, a person says, yesterday I bought a brand new motor car. That was the happiest day of my life. I was so happy. And today, where did the happiness go? That was your delusion. Brahm was illusion. We'll look at it later on. For now, understand that true happiness once attained, it is possessed forever. We will never ever experience sorrow again. Tusidasi Maharaj, the great saint, says in the Ramayana, Doha.
पारिक जिन सपने हो लहई सोई सुख लवलेश हो रामा सोई सुख लवलेश ब्रह्म सुख ही सज्जन सुमति ते नहीं गन ही खगेश हो रामा ते नहीं गन ही खगेश सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
सोई सुख लवलेश बारिक जिन सपने हो लही ते नहीं गन ही खगेश ब्रह्म सुख ही सज्जन सुमति। Tusidasi Maharaj says that if someone were to experience the tiniest lavalish, the tiniest particle of true happiness, even once, even in dream, sapana, then he's sure to forget the bliss of the formless absolute Brahm, Brahmanand, that which is experienced by the Jnanis. Then what to speak of the mundane pleasures of this world? From this, it is obvious that we have never experienced true happiness even once, as we are still attracted by the commonness of worldly pleasures. So there is no happiness in this world, not in any person or object. But we have heard about a place called heaven, Swarg. ये सुना है और वहाँ सुख मिलते हैं. We've heard there's a place called heaven and that you get happiness there. There are many classes of heavenly happiness. And a very systematic evaluation of the happiness found in the various heavenly regions is given in Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 8. Saisha nandasya mimansa bhavati yuvasyat sadhu yuvadhyayakaha ashishto dhadishto balishto tasyam prithvi sarva vitasya purnasya sa eko manusha ananda te shatam manusha ananda sa eko manusha gandharvanam ananda te shatam manusha gandharvanam ananda sa eko deva gandharvanam ananda te shatam deva gandharvanam ananda sa ekah pitrinam chirloka lokanam ananda te shatam pitrinam chirloka lokanam ananda sa eka ajana janam devanam ananda te shatam ajana janam devanam ananda sa ekah karma devanam devanam ananda te shatam karma devanam devanam ananda sa eko devanam ananda te shatam devanam ananda sa eka indasyananda te shatam indasyananda sa eko brihaspatirananda te shatam brihaspatirananda sa ekah prajapatirananda te shatam prajapatirananda sa eko brahman ananda. Very long mantra. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 8. This Ved mantra says, supposing there is a young man in the prime of his youth, most energetic, most strongly built, most learned, most virtuous, all the most. इसके पीछे सब वान लगाओ, वान वान, धनवान, बलवान, सब वान. Now, supposing the rule of the entire world, filled with all the wealth and luxury, was given to this young man, plus all the subjects are favorable to him. Today, there are just about 200 countries in the world. Long ago, there used to be one king for the entire world. People like Ambarish, Dhruv, etc., Prahlad ruled the entire world alone. Today there's hardly any small little country, maybe there's still king, but hardly any king, queen anywhere. Mostly we have president, prime minister, and every country has its own. And not everybody is favorable. Oh, more than half the people get rid of him. Somehow we hate him, we don't want to even see him. So, let's suppose that this person is given the rule of the entire world and all the subjects are favorable, love him. Such a king would be considered to be the happiest man in the world. Sabse sukhi admi. Now, the Vedas say the happiness of such a king multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one Manav Gandharv. This is the lowest class of heavenly happiness. The happiness of one Manav Gandharv multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one Dev Gandharv. Gandharv, the celestial beings, the dancing, etc. The happiness of one Dev Gandharv multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one of the Pitris. There's an abode which is called Pitri Lok, where the ancestors reside. Pitri. The happiness of one of the Pitris multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one Ajana Jadev, one who is born in heaven as a Devata. The happiness of one Ajana Jadev multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one Karmadev. The happiness of one Karmadev multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of one Devata. Agni, the god of fire. Vayu, the god of wind. Kuber, the god of wealth. Devata. The happiness of one Devata multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of Indra, the king of heaven. Svarga Raja. The happiness of Indra multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of Brihaspati, the Guru, preceptor of the Devatas. The happiness of Brihaspati multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of Prajapati. And the happiness of Prajapati is equal to the happiness of Prajapati multiplied hundreds of times is equal to the happiness of Brahma, the creator. But there is no happiness, true happiness. Even in Satyalok, the abode of Brahma is also called Satyalok. There are 7 heavenly regions: Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapaha, Satya. The highest heavenly region is called Satyalok, the abode of Brahma, the creator. Brahma Bhuvanaloka Punaravarti Nojana Mamupete tu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Chapter 8, verse 16, Gita. Bhagavan Krishna makes it very clear. He says, all these heavenly regions, from the abode of Brahma, which is the highest heavenly region, they are all destructible. There's a time limit. And only upon attaining Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that one does not come back in this material world. Look, logic, if the happiness of all is heaven, is the happiness of this material world multiplied a number of times. We kept multiplying by 100, right? And we have already seen there is no happiness, true happiness in any person or object in this world. 0. So multiply 100 by 0, what do you get? 0. 1,000 by 0, 0. 1,000,000 by 0, 0. 1,000,000,000,000 by 0, still 0. No matter how many times you multiply by 0, you will get 0. This is why the Vedas say, Avidyaya mantare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana janghanyamana paryanti mudha andhe naivaniyamana yathandha. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 8 mantra. The Vedas say, those people who teach others that the aim of life is to attain material pleasures to go to heaven, they are fools. Murkha, mudha. And they are andhe naivanyamana yathandha. They call themselves guru, but it's a straight case of blind leading the blind. Blind leading the blind. Again the Vedas say, Ishta purtam manyamana varishtham Nanyachreyo vedayante pramurhaha nakasya prishtete suktenu bhutrimam lokam hidram vavishanti. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 10th mantra. The Vedas say a person who performs actions or those things with the desire to attain in heaven, going to heaven, and wants to go to heaven, is not only an ordinary fool, but the greatest fool. Pramudha. Mudha in Sanskrit is murk in Hindi, means a fool. Foolish, stupid. And in Sanskrit, as I told you, when they put the prefix pra before a word, it means the greatest. So pramudha, the greatest fool. This is why Bhagavan Shri Ram is saying to the residents of Ayodhya, he's warning us. Ehi tan kar phal vishaya na bhai swargahu swalpa ant dukhdai. Bolo Ram यही तन कर फल विषय न भाई स्वर्ग स्वर्ग अंत दुखदाई बोलो राम भगवान श्री राम अयोध्या वासियों से कहते हैं यही तन कर फल विषय न भाई स्वर्ग स्वल्प अंत दुखदाई. Bhagwan is saying, after saying how valuable this human birth is, that even devatas, celestial gods, are praying and begging for birth in this human form, is the greatest fortune for the soul that acquires birth in the human form. He says, this human body was not given to you to just enjoy the senses. You are given poison when you do that. Sensual objects, sensual pleasures. Nor was it given to go to heaven. Why? Swargahu swalp. Swalp means non-existence. And I just told you in the Vedas, showed you, it's only the happiness of this material world multiplied a number of times. And the worst part, anta dukkhdai. It ends in suffering. After you go to heaven, you're going to suffer. Dukkha bhoging. And as I told you, Bhagwan Krishna explained in Gita, he says, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evam trayi dharmantupanna gadagatam kama kama labhante. Chapter 9, verse 21, Gita. You see, when we perform dharma, righteous action, which as I told you is impossible in Kali Yuga, dharma sampadyate shadbhi radharmastu viparyayah. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 6 conditions, and all impossible in Kali Yuga. Even if someone can do it, you can fulfill all the 6 conditions. You go to heaven for some time, according to how much punya. Punya means religious merit that you've acquired. But when you go there, Bhagwan says, what happens? Kshine punye. That dharma, that religious merit starts to destroy. As you enjoy, you lose. It starts getting less and less. And one day, it's going to become zero. And when that punya, that dharma has become zero, what will happen? Martyalokam vishanti. Will be kicked out of heaven. As we have been uncountable times. And you may think it's okay, great, I enjoyed, I had a good time in heaven. Now I'll come back and get human birth. No, no, no. Remember, karma has become zero. You have nothing to come back here with. So we have to start all over again. Remember that Ved mantra I told you from Mundak Upanishad? It says, Hi nataram va vishanti. First Mundak, second Kand, 10th mantra. That we are going to be thrown into lower forms of life. After enjoying in heaven as a devata, celestial God, we're going to be thrown into the womb of dog, cat, donkey, worm, tree, grass. Wonderful. You've just enjoyed in heaven as a devata, and now you're a worm. We can't understand the suffering. Today you are President of America. People salute you. And tomorrow you're a beggar. People spit on you. They don't even look at you. Only that person can understand how he feels. And this is worse than that. Such a position of such superiority to one to such inferiority. Yet we still want to go heaven. So this is why Bhagwan Sri Ram says that haven't gotten this human birth. And we just run after the world and try to enjoy the senses and the sensual pleasures. He says in the Ramayana, ताहि कबहु भल काहे न को गुंजा गहे परश मन होई जय राम श्री कबहु भल कहे न कोई गुंजा गहे परश मनि खोई. A person who doesn't make the proper use of this wonderful human birth. We have been given human birth for one thing and only, bhaiya. Ek kaam ke liye. What is that? Bhakti, bhakti. Instead, we run after the world and enjoy the senses and sensual pleasures. Bhagwan says, no one will ever have anything good to say about such a person. Such a person have been given a paras money. A paras money is called a philosopher's stone, magical stone. That if you have a paras money and you bring it in contact with iron, that iron gets converted into gold. You have such a thing, a paras money, you throw it away, pen dete hai, and you hold on to a gunja bead. It's a little black bead called gunja, gunj, and you love it. Such is the person who does not make the right use of this wonderful human birth. So we've always been looking for happiness. And we keep looking where it cannot be found. If, however, we happen to meet a true saint, this is most important. This decision we cannot make by ourselves. This decision that there is no happiness in the material world and I will find happiness only in Sri Krishna, only when we associate with a saint, and we're going to come into that topic. Bhagwan Sri Ram is going to tell us. Only when we associate with a true saint, that knowledge will come. So just as we keep looking for happiness in the material world, and this only makes us suffer, in the same way, if through the grace of a true saint, a guru, true guru, the knowledge comes that Sri Krishna is happiness, and the happiness I'm looking for, I will find only in Sri Krishna. Just as how I think again and again, I'll find happiness in the world, I get attached in the world to people and objects. In the same way, if I think again and again that I will find happiness only in Sri Ram, only in Sri Krishna, what will happen? I'll become attached to Sri Krishna, to Sri Ram. Vishayan dhyatasthittam vishayeshu visajyate mamanusmaratasthittam mayeva praviliyate. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11th canto, 14th chapter, 27th verse. Bhagwan Krishna is saying to Uddhav, one becomes attached to Bhagwan, to Sri Krishna, and the result is God realization. The method is the same, the result, the way of practice is the same, and the result is the same. The method, constantly thinking. The result, the mind gets attached. And we attain the object, the fruit for which the mind gets attached. If our mind gets attached to the material world, we have to come back here and suffer as we have done uncountable time. On the other hand, if our mind gets attached to divine personalities, the saint, to Sri Krishna, to Sri Ram, we will go to Bhagavan. There's much more that Sri Ram tells us we will hear tomorrow the continuation. Bole Siyavar Ramchandra ki, Larli Lal ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Pavan Sut Hanuman ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. I want to thank everyone for coming this evening, and please continue to come. The lectures continue until Sunday evening. Sunday coming, right? So tomorrow night also. At this time, we'll ask everyone to come up and take Aarti, Darshan and Prasad, and afterwards, Bhajan, Mahaprasad in the dining room. Okay, thanks.